Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a video a lot of you have been requesting. We're going to do a summer makeup look using only drugstore makeup. So I have a bunch of stuff I pulled out here. I'm going to try to use as many affordable brushes as well that I can, that I have. And we're just going to do a full face with a bunch of good drugstore stuff. So I hope you enjoy the video. And if you're new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty and makeup content here on YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But I'm posting 5 days a week in June. So I hope you'll subscribe and let's get into it. All right, I want to go ahead and apply a few things that I normally do for skin prep before starting makeup. I figured I would leave this in here because we're going to use pretty affordable things for this. So I'm going to apply a little bit of eye cream, or actually this is an eye gel, but it's from Good Molecules. It's the Yerba Mate Wake Up Eye Gel. I've been using this for a few months and I really like this. It's pretty affordable. I want to say it's like $6, $8, somewhere around there. And I love to use this before makeup, and this stuff feels incredible under your eyes. If you are not a huge fan of like a thicker eye cream, but you want to hydrate under your eyes before you go in with makeup, highly recommend this one. I think it has caffeine in it, and it says it reduces signs of puffiness and plumps the appearance of fine lines, which we all want to do. So I've really been enjoying this, so I just kind of tap it in all over. Okay, I have a few different SPFs that I like that are more affordable from the drugstore. I was going to use this one. This is pretty new. It's the Neutrogena Mineral UV Tinted Sunscreen SPF 30. This I like, but it's not my favorite for underneath makeup. I feel like it works the best if you just apply a little bit of makeup. If you're going to do like a full face of makeup, this one is iffy. I think you could do it, but I find the texture to be a little bit thick for that. My favorite affordable sunscreens are the Beauty of Joseon. I talk about that one all the time, so I figured I'll use a different one today. But one that you can pick up from wherever, literally anywhere, is this one, the CeraVe Ultra Light Moisturizing Lotion. This is a matte finish, which to me can sometimes be a good thing, especially in the summer when it's hot. The only thing that would make this better is if it had SPF 50. It is SPF 30, but I do wish the SPF was a little bit higher, but that's okay. This is a great SPF for under makeup. I've been through probably 3 or 4 of these. It's lightweight. It doesn't feel like a ton on your skin. I really like it. Bringing some down my chest too, because I have a really open neckline with these tops. By the way, these tops, so you've probably seen this neckline in like 3 or 4 videos at this point, and the reason is because it's the same top in every color. I bought this top at Old Navy this past weekend and I loved it so much I literally bought every single color it came in, so I will link it below. It's just kind of a little cropped tank top with a square neck, but I really like it, especially for filming. But I will link it below for you. All right, let's move on to the makeup. So I let those products kind of sink in for probably, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. Definitely do that. Make sure you're letting your products set down before you start going in with other things. That'll help you kind of avoid pilling and just making sure things are sitting well on your skin. So the first thing I know I want to use is this, the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. I haven't been using my filter type products like this that much lately. I don't know why. I do randomly use it just when I'm not filming, but in videos I haven't been using these as much. But we're going to use shade number 3. Today, and I'm gonna add this mainly on my cheeks here, and then I'll add a little bit on my forehead and my chin. I definitely reach for this type of product more this time of year. Okay, I'm gonna use this brush. I don't even know if you can buy this brush anymore, but I really like it. It's very old. It's the buffing brush from Real Techniques. I think you might be able to get it in like a kit. I'll have to see if I can find it online somewhere. A lot of the Real Techniques brushes, for whatever reason, you can't buy individually. You like have to buy them in a set. Some of them you can buy individually, but not all of them, which is kind of annoying, but this is a really good one. This is also good for foundation. It's good for bronzer, cream blush. It's definitely a nice brush. This is another reason I really like that CeraVe sunscreen, because it's a matte finish, so I don't feel like if I go over my skin with something like this that is way too much glow, they kind of offset each other. All right, now I'm gonna use some corrector. I've been using the Pixie one in pretty much every video, so we're gonna switch it up today so you can see something different. This is another really great one from the drugstore. It's the Neutrogena Color Correcting Concealer in the shade Peach. I've been using this one for a long time, really since it came out, but this is great. It does not give as much coverage as the Pixie one. So if you are someone that like needs a good bit of color correction under your eyes, this one is nice, but it's just a lot more sheer, I would say. So if you need more, I would probably go for the Pixie, but it's also kind of nice to use something like this in the summertime. It's just a little bit more lightweight. I do like to let it kind of sit for a minute before I blend it in, just so I get the most coverage I can. And then I'm just gonna start tapping this in. This is a super affordable brush. The only issue is it's kind of hard to get your hands on. The AOA Studio E104. I get asked about this brush all the time when I use it. And sometimes I can find it online and sometimes I can't, but I'll see if I can find it and link it. But it's a really good one for under your eyes. It's the perfect size. I literally use this all the time. I really need to try to find them and get more of them because I reach for this brush constantly for under my eyes, usually for color corrector. Okay, today I want to use more of a skin tint. So we're going to use this one. This is a really nice one from Neutrogena again. It's the Sensitive Skin Serum Foundation. I wouldn't call it a foundation. I would say it's more of a skin tint. And I like this because it's super thin and lightweight, but it gives a decent amount of coverage. I really like it. I have shade light 02. The only thing I don't like is the packaging. Honestly, I could probably use that same brush we used for the e.l.f. liquid filter. In fact, let's just use that. I was gonna use a different brush, but let's just use this. If you have dry skin, I bet you will love this. If you have more mature skin, I bet you would love this. This is a little bit on the dewy side though, so if you have super oily skin, I would say maybe don't use this one. If you do, probably use like a mattifying primer underneath or something. But it's one of the best skin tints from the drugstore. Okay, for concealer, I pulled out my two favorites from the drugstore, NYX Bear With Me and Flower Serum Concealer. These are actually both serum concealers. I'm going to use the Flower Beauty one today, and I'm using the shade Light. This one really surprised me, actually. I got this, I don't know, a few months ago for a video, and I really enjoyed it. So this one is very hydrating, and I actually find it does not crease too badly for a serum concealer. Sometimes serum consistencies do want to crease just because of the texture, but this one is not too bad. All right, and I'm going back to that same brush again. I really hope I can find this one online because this is a great brush. I forgot how much I like this. Also, the Flower Beauty concealer is very thin consistency, but it gives decent coverage. I would say it's like a light medium coverage. Okay, so I just kind of tapped that in on my face, and then I'm gonna switch to a smaller brush for under my eyes. I'm gonna use the setting brush from Real Techniques. This is another great one. I think it's actually for powder under your eyes, but it's good for concealer. So the Flower Concealer, I kind of forgot how much it spreads because it's that serum-y texture, but it does spread, so a little bit goes a long way with that formula. Let's go in with some bronzer. I am going to use a cream bronzer first today, so we're going to use this from e.l.f. This is the Putty bronzer in Honey Drip. I also have the Luminous Putty bronzers. I like those as well, but I do prefer just the original. This one thing with this formula, it does kind of glaze over on the top over time, so you do have to kind of work it or work your finger into it and kind of emulsify it again, but just FYI. I guess we're just gonna stick with the same brush again and just go into this bronzer. And I'm just gonna add this to my face. So this bronzer is, I would say, more on the sheer side. So I don't find you have to be like super careful with it. Also, I meant to say earlier, if you can't find this brush, I also really like this NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop foundation brush. That one is just more dense than this one, so it's not exactly the same, but I like that one, and I know you can find that one. I want to use some cream blush too. You know, I'm definitely a cream girl. We're going to use the e.l.f. Putty blushes, but I'm going to use the Luminous one instead of the Putty, the original on this. I like both, but I'm kind of in the mood to use these. So I have two of them. I kind of want to use a little bit of both. So I have Maui, and then this one is Bermuda. No, it's Belize. So Belize and Maui. Use a little bit of both. Oh, I do have another brush I want to show you. This is another really great Real Techniques brush. It's the tapered cheek brush, and it fits actually right into this little jar for the e.l.f. blushes, but this is a great brush. It's kind of a different shape. It's like, I'm trying to think of something to compare it to. It's kind of a fluffier blush brush. It's a little bit of like a stippling style, I guess, so it's not super dense, but it works well with most cream blushes. Also, the e.l.f. brushes, I know they make a ton. They're okay in my opinion. I don't love the e.l.f. brushes. I think Real Techniques are better, but e.l.f. brushes are not bad. I think they're usually a bit less expensive than the Real Techniques, but I do find the Real Techniques to be a little bit better, just quality-wise. So I'm taking a little bit of Belize now and going over my nose and just lightly adding a little bit of that color too. This step is key. If you're trying to make your makeup last after you've done all your creams, spray your face with a setting spray. This is the Make It Last from Milani. I like the spray itself on this, but I don't love the nozzle. I wish they could make this a little bit more appealing to apply, but then I like to take a sponge and just press everything in. I gave that like 2 minutes to set down on my face. Now we're gonna go in with powder, and you know which powder we're gonna use. We're gonna do Maybelline Fit Me in Translucent. I actually really want to try this in the loose version. Has anybody tried that one? Because I love the pressed version so much. I'm curious how the loose version compares. And I am using another Real Techniques brush for this. This is actually the blush brush, but I'm using it for powder. And I'm just lightly tapping over my face with this. This is not a very dense brush, so you're not gonna get a ton of product with this one. And now I'm gonna apply a little bit of the powder under my eyes. I'm gonna use this Morphe brush, the A14 from the REL collection, but you could use that setting brush we use for concealer. I just don't have another one that's clean, so I'm gonna use this instead. But you just wanna look and make sure there's not major creasing anywhere. But I'm not adding a lot of powder. I'm just adding a little bit, mainly like right here in this inner corner. For brows, I'm going to use NYX Micro Brow. I have so many of these drugstore pencils that I love. I love the CoverGirl one. I love the Maybelline one. I love the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer. But I'm going to fill my brows in the new way I've been doing it. I'm not like perfect at it yet, so I'm still kind of trying to work on this, but I saw Melissa Herkman filling her brows in this way, and it just made so much sense to me. So basically, you brush your brow hairs down, like all the way down, and it's gonna look really odd. But it also shows you like the natural shape of your brow, so you really know exactly how you should be filling them in, basically. So she does it this way, and she takes her pencil and she kind of starts back here, like near the arch, which is where I have the most, or like the biggest gap in my brows. And she does her pencil backwards instead of forwards, which I have never thought about doing that, but I've been doing it lately and actually I really like it. So she runs it backwards and kind of follows the shape of the top of her brow. I know it looks crazy, but it actually does come together. Okay, so she does it like that. Then she takes the spoolie, brushes the brow hairs back up to the position that you're wanting them in. And then obviously you can clearly see like that gap right there. Then you know like exactly where you need to fill in. And then with the tail, you can do whatever you want. I don't usually do a whole lot to the tail. But how much sense does that make? I wish I had been doing this all along, but I just saw her recently in an Instagram story doing this. And I tried it and loved it. All right, and then sometimes we'll underline under my brow just a little bit. I don't do a whole lot because I like it to look pretty natural, but and there you go. That's kind of how I've been filling in my brows lately. All right, now I'm going to use just a little bit of this NYX brow gel to kind of set them in place. Actually, this is technically like a brow glue, so probably should apply this early in the makeup, but I don't know. I haven't been as into like laminated brows lately. I've been liking them more, I don't know, like fluffy and natural. So I'm just gonna lightly go through with this. Actually, before we move into eyes, I'm gonna take a little bit of this Essence blush. This is one of the Pure Nude baked blushes in Shimmering Rose, which is, I think, the lightest shade that they make, but I just want to add a little bit of this. It doesn't have a ton of color. Kind of acts as like a highlighter almost, with just like a little bit of pink tone to it, but it's pretty as like a blush topper. All right, before we do anything on the eyes, I'm gonna apply a little bit of eye primer. This is the one from Milani. You could skip this step if you want, but I do find, especially if you have oilier eyelids in the summertime, this does kind of help your shadow have something to kind of grip onto. So I'm just taking like the lightest layer of this with my finger and just tapping it on. Okay, typically in the summer, I find I like some really easy, minimal eye makeup. I don't really like to do a whole lot on my eyes, but I really like this cream shadow. This is the Revlon ColorStay in the shade 710. I think that shade is called Caramel, I'm pretty sure. But I like to take this with like a fluffy shadow brush. This is the Morphe A20. And I just apply this kind of all over the lid and even kind of bring it up just a little bit. This color is kind of like a gold, but not like an intense yellowy gold. And then I typically will use either like a powder bronzer or just like a light brown eyeshadow. I really love this little Essence palette, so I'm going to use the light brown in here. This is the Nothing Compares to Nude little quad that I love. And I'm just going to add a little bit of this to the eyes. Quick and easy. I love this little palette. Sometimes I like a little bit of sparkle on my eyes personally. So I'm going to take this light shimmer shade right here. And I'm just going to pop just a little bit of this like right in the center of my lid just for like a little bit of like a pop. And that's really it. I don't know. I like simple eyes anyway, but especially for like summertime makeup, I really like just like a very easy, quick eye look. I'm going to use this CoverGirl Perfect Point eyeliner in the shade Toffee. And I'm going to add just a little bit of a wing with this. I curled my lashes, and you know what mascara we're using. e.l.f. Lash and Roll in the brown shade. Holy Grail status for me at this point. If you haven't used this mascara, you need to, and especially in the summertime, I love the brown. I just feel like it's just fantastic. So soft and natural. This is definitely a mascara that's more of a natural type formula. So if you want like super voluminous lashes, I would not steer you towards this mascara. This one is more of a natural mascara, but that's one of the things that I love about it. It's just, oh, it's so good. So good. If you haven't tried it, please, please do. Okay, for lip liner, one of my all-time favorites from the drugstore is still this one from Essence. This is the 8 Hour Comfort Lip Liner in Rosy Nude. Great formula, great color. They really do last on your lips. I love these. Love this on its own. Honestly, you could just fill in your lip with this and then add something on top. I think I'm going to add a little bit of this gloss. This is Revlon Super Lustrous Gloss in the shade Supernatural. I bought this a long time ago because I saw someone using it and I just loved the color. Kept the lip liner, but I'm going to use something else actually. I'm just going to use this Maybelline gloss in the shade Topaz. Yeah. That one was coming off a little too pink. All right, and then I always spray my face one more time. Tap it in. All right, you guys, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I know a lot of you have been asking for this, so I hope you liked the video. I love this makeup. I think it's so pretty and natural, summer looking, all of my favorite things. So I hope you liked it. I will have all the products listed and linked below for you. They are affiliate links, so if you do shop through them, I do make a commission. I hope you're enjoying the daily uploads. Make sure to subscribe if you have not already, and follow me on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1. And I will see you next time for another video. Remember, simply be you. Bye.